Several months ago, I saw a powerful video on zip codes and how changing just one number in the zip code of the place you were born or the place you were raised can make a world of difference. I grew up in 60004 on the northwest side of Chicago. Chicago, a city of over 9 million people. If I had been raised in 60034, I would have grown up in Hebron, Illinois, up on the Wisconsin state line, population 1,200. I live in 32789. If I grew up in 32189, I would live north of the Ocala National Forest in Satsuma, Florida. Just changing one number in the place we were born, the place we were raised, can change our culture, our background, our experience. This past fall, I had a chance to go to Northern Ireland. It's a beautiful country of wonderful people. It's a country that is still trying to heal from years of sectarianism. And while the practice is slowly changing in many ways, in many places, depending on your faith practice, you live in different neighborhoods and go to different schools and work at different jobs and hang out with different people. And while the walls of brick and mortar are largely gone from Belfast, there are still many walls of division. One morning we went to a Catholic community center and met with a gentleman in the IRA who had been in prison during the Troubles. And in the afternoon we went and visited two gentlemen who had fought for the Protestants, the militant wing, and were in prison during the Troubles. And we listened to hear them try to reconcile the division in their land. And it struck me that identity plays such a critical role. We have many identities. Some we choose, some we do not. I'm a husband, a father, a pastor, a white male, United Methodist. And depending on which identity I lead with, or which identity I prioritize, will make a world of difference of how I go about being in this world. As Christians, in our faith practice, we look at the scriptures of the New Testament, and there's a passage in a book called Galatians where Paul says, in Christ we are all children of God through faith, for there is neither slave nor free, Jew nor Greek, male nor female, in Christ. And the point of this is not to minimize our differences. The point of this is not to turn a deaf ear to those things that make us unique from one another as a personal privilege, not because of anything I've done, but because of my gender and because of my skin tone. I need to seek out other people's experiences and to elevate those. The point, I think, is really of which lens are we choosing to look through? Are we choosing to look through the lens of being children of God? And I think this is so important in this election season. Tuesday morning, I received an article from a friend of mine. It was a blog by Christina Cleveland. She's a professor at Duke University Divinity School. And she writes about how privilege can really skew our understanding of the election, how privilege can get in the way. And I just want to read a quote to you from her, and it says this. This is a quote, 2017, this is written after the last election. A woman of color regularly faces food insecurity, violence, and or housing instability. This is the norm. Since privileged people have agency and mobility, we can typically choose which neighborhoods we want to live in, which schools to send our children to, and which churches to attend. Most privileged people make choices that shield them from the realities of those who are excluded from such stable, safe, and prosperous communities. And the blog really spoke to me. It made me realize that my privilege is coloring my experience of the election, and that I need to get out and seek to see others and to hear their experience, that my privilege is not the norm and my privilege is not the goal, and that my privilege is skewing what I am seeing. And so I'm going to start with the lens of being a child of God, and I'm going to seek to hear other people's experiences, and I'm going to trust in a God who is greater than this. How about you? How about you?